Tonight, America is mourning. We didn't just lose a star, we lost a legend, a piece of history.
The news arrived quietly, almost like a fading echo from a distant stage. In the early hours of the morning, reports confirmed the passing of Valerie Perrine, a fearless performer whose presence once lit up cinema screens with both strength and vulnerability. For many, the moment felt deeply personal, as if a familiar light from a beloved era had suddenly dimmed. Her journey into the spotlight began during one of Hollywood's most daring periods. The film industry was changing, taking risks, telling stories that felt raw and real. Valerie Perrine stepped into this world with natural confidence. She was not simply another rising star. She was a woman unafraid to reveal emotion on screen, even when it meant exposing her own fragility. Audiences first noticed her unique presence through supporting roles that hinted at something greater. There was a quiet magnetism in her performances. Directors saw it. Critics spoke about it. And soon the opportunity arrived that would define her career and place her name firmly in cinematic history. Her portrayal of Honey Bruce became a turning point. The role demanded honesty, courage, and emotional depth. Valerie delivered all three. She portrayed a woman caught between love and hardship with such authenticity that viewers felt they were witnessing real life rather than fiction. The performance earned widespread praise and award recognition, opening doors that few actors ever experience. Colleagues often described her as both glamorous and grounded. She carried herself with elegance, yet remained deeply committed to her craft. On set, she was known for preparation and focus. Off-screen, she could be warm, playful, and surprisingly humble. One longtime collaborator later shared, "Valerie never chased attention. She chased truth in every scene." Her filmography grew steadily over the years. She moved between drama and comedy with ease, refusing to be limited by expectations. Each role added another layer to her artistic identity. Whether appearing in major productions or more intimate projects, she approached every character with dedication and care. Yet like many performers of her generation, her path was not without challenges. The pressures of fame, the shifting landscape of Hollywood, and personal struggles occasionally slowed her momentum. Still, she remained resilient. She continued to appear at film festivals, fan gatherings, and public events, always expressing gratitude to those who remembered her work. Fans never forgot the emotional connection she created. Social media filled with tributes soon after the tragic news was confirmed. One admirer wrote, "She made us feel seen. Her performances stayed with us long after the credits rolled." Another fan shared simply, "A true artist never leaves." Valerie proved that. Friends and family also spoke with tenderness about her legacy. A close friend remarked, "She lived bravely. She gave everything she had to her art and to the people she loved." These quiet reflections revealed a woman who valued authenticity more than fame, and meaningful relationships more than public applause. As time moved forward, the industry she helped shape continued to evolve. New stars emerged. New styles took over the screen. Yet Valerie Perrine's contribution remained part of the foundation. Her performances became reference points for younger actors seeking to understand emotional honesty in storytelling. In later years, she faced health challenges with dignity and openness. Those who visited her often described moments filled with laughter and reflection. She remained proud of her journey. She remained thankful for the life she had lived in front of audiences around the world. Today, as Hollywood reflects on her passing, there is a shared understanding that her influence cannot be measured only in awards or film credits. It lives in memories, in scenes that still move viewers, in stories that continue to inspire. Her fearless approach to performance helped expand what audiences believed cinema could achieve. The lights on many classic film sets have long gone dark. But the emotions captured within those frames continue to shine. Valerie Perrine's legacy rests in that enduring glow. A reminder that courage on screen can create connections that last a lifetime. As tributes continue to arrive from across generations, her name is spoken with respect and quiet affection. She will be remembered not only as a star of a bold cinematic era, but as an artist who dared to be vulnerable when vulnerability was rare. In the end, her story becomes part of Hollywood's living memory. A graceful farewell to a fearless performer whose voice may have fallen silent, but whose impact will continue to echo wherever timeless films are watched and heartfelt performances are celebrated. The tragic news was confirmed in a quiet wave of headlines that spread across fan communities and television circles alike. Nicholas Brendon, a familiar and comforting presence for millions of viewers, had passed away. For many who grew up watching him on screen, the moment felt like losing a friend whose laughter and loyalty once filled their living rooms. His rise to recognition came during the late 1990s, a time when television storytelling was finding new emotional depth. Nicholas Brendon stepped into that era with natural charm and relatability. He portrayed characters who felt real, not perfect heroes but ordinary people trying to do their best in extraordinary situations. Audiences quickly connected with his warmth. His performances carried humor but also quiet vulnerability. He understood how to show fear, doubt, and courage in ways that resonated with young viewers finding their own place in the world. Week after week, he became a steady presence in stories that balanced fantasy with heartfelt friendship. Behind the scenes, colleagues described him as dedicated and thoughtful. He prepared carefully for each role, often discussing character motivations long after filming had ended. A fellow cast member once reflected, "Nicholas always wanted to get the emotions right." He cared deeply about how audiences would feel. His success brought fame but also personal challenges. Like many public figures, he faced struggles that became widely known. Instead of retreating completely, he chose openness. He spoke honestly about his battles and encouraged others facing similar hardships to seek support and understanding. Fans admired that honesty. At conventions and public appearances, he listened patiently to stories from viewers who said his work had helped them through difficult times. One fan later wrote in tribute, "He made us feel less alone." That kind of connection stays forever. The changing television landscape meant that roles evolved and opportunities shifted. Yet Nicholas Brendon remained part of a cultural moment that defined a generation's viewing experience. His performances continued to be rediscovered by new audiences through streaming platforms and fan communities around the world. Friends often remembered his humor. Even during challenging periods, he could lighten a room with a quick joke or a gentle smile. A longtime friend shared after his passing, "He carried pain but he also carried kindness. He never forgot the people who stood by him." As news of his death spread, tributes poured in from fellow actors and devoted fans. Social media became filled with messages of gratitude and remembrance. One television producer wrote, "Nicholas brought heart to every scene." His presence helped shape an era of storytelling we still celebrate today. His journey was never simple. It included moments of triumph and moments of uncertainty. Yet through it all, he remained connected to the audience that first welcomed him into their homes. That bond became one of the most meaningful parts of his legacy. In later years, he continued to engage with supporters through events and interviews. He spoke about growth, forgiveness, and the importance of moving forward. These reflections revealed a man who was still learning, still hoping, and still reaching out to others with sincerity. The characters he portrayed were often defined by loyalty and friendship. In many ways, those qualities reflected his own relationship with fans. He understood the power of storytelling not just as entertainment, but as a shared emotional experience that could bring people together. Today, as the television community pauses to remember Nicholas Brendon, there is a sense of quiet appreciation for the joy he once created. Scenes that made audiences laugh or cry now carry new meaning. They remind viewers of a performer who gave his energy and honesty to the screen. His legacy lives on in reruns, in online discussions, and in the memories of those who felt understood through his work. Though his voice has grown silent, the spirit of the characters he helped bring to life continues to inspire conversations about friendship, courage, and resilience. In the end, Nicholas Brendon will be remembered not only as a face of a beloved television era, but as a human being who faced struggles with openness and still offered warmth to the world. His story becomes part of the lasting fabric of pop culture, a gentle reminder that even imperfect heroes can leave behind perfect memories. The tragic news was confirmed as dawn slowly broke over quiet cities and waking neighborhoods. Chuck Norris, the warrior who became a global symbol of strength and discipline, had passed away. For millions who grew up watching his films and admiring his philosophy, the moment felt deeply personal. It was not only the loss of an action star, but the farewell to a figure who inspired courage in both cinema and real life. His story began long before fame and bright studio lights. As a young man serving in the United States Air Force, he first encountered martial arts. What started as training soon became a defining path. Through tireless effort and unwavering focus, he transformed himself into a skilled fighter and respected champion. Competition after competition, he built a reputation for discipline and quiet determination. Those early victories shaped the mindset he would carry throughout his life. He believed strength was not only physical but also emotional and spiritual. Friends from his training years often spoke about his humility. One fellow martial artist later recalled, "Chuck never needed to raise his voice. His dedication spoke louder than words." His move into acting came at a time when action films were gaining worldwide popularity. Filmmakers saw in him something rare, a presence that felt both powerful and honest. When he appeared on screen, audiences sensed authenticity. His movements were precise. His expressions were calm. His characters fought not for glory but for justice and protection. During the height of his career, his films became part of a cultural wave that celebrated heroism. Movie theaters filled with viewers eager to watch him confront danger with courage and skill. He represented a hero who did not fear challenges. Instead, he faced them with patience and resolve. This image resonated strongly with people seeking inspiration during uncertain times. Colleagues often described him as disciplined and respectful behind the scenes. He trained daily even during long shooting schedules. A director once shared, "Chuck treated every scene like a mission." He prepared with total focus, yet always remained kind to everyone on set. That balance of professionalism and warmth left a lasting impression on those who worked with him. Beyond the world of cinema, his influence expanded through martial arts instruction and motivational speaking. He opened schools where students learned more than physical defense. They learned confidence, respect, and responsibility. Many later credited him with helping them find direction in life. One former student wrote in tribute, "He taught us to believe in ourselves when we were ready to give up." As the years passed, his image took on a unique place in popular culture. Stories and humorous legends about his strength spread across the internet, turning him into a symbol of larger-than-life heroism. Instead of distancing himself from the jokes, he embraced them with gentle humor. He understood that admiration could evolve in creative ways. Fans remembered how approachable he remained despite his fame. At public appearances, he greeted supporters with patience and gratitude. He listened to their memories and often shared simple words of encouragement. A devoted fan later wrote online, "Meeting him felt like meeting the hero you always hoped was real." His personal life reflected strong values shaped by faith and family. He often spoke about staying grounded, reminding others that success without purpose can feel empty. A family member shared after his passing, "He lived with discipline, but his greatest strength was love." He never stopped caring about the people around him. Even as action cinema changed and new stars emerged, his legacy remained firmly rooted in the memories of audiences worldwide. Television reruns and streaming platforms introduced his films to younger viewers who discovered the timeless appeal of his performances. His calm confidence and moral clarity continued to inspire across generations. Tributes soon poured in from actors, athletes, and public figures who had grown up admiring him. One well-known performer wrote, "Chuck Norris showed us that heroes do not need to shout. They lead through action and integrity." Such reflections revealed how deeply his presence had shaped the idea of heroism in modern storytelling. In later interviews, he often reflected on gratitude. He spoke about lessons learned through victory and failure, encouraging others to remain strong during difficult moments. These words carried the weight of experience and sincerity. They reminded listeners that resilience is built slowly, through daily choices and quiet perseverance. Today, as the world pauses to remember him, his story continues to unfold through the lives he influenced. Scenes from his films still spark excitement. His teachings still guide students. His example still motivates those searching for courage in their own journeys. In the soft silence that follows the headlines, one truth remains clear. Chuck Norris was more than a cinematic warrior. He was a symbol of determination, discipline, and hope. His legacy lives wherever people choose strength over fear and kindness over pride. Though the legend has taken his final bow, his spirit endures in every memory of triumph and every lesson of resilience. Generations will continue to look back at his life as a reminder that true heroism is not only about victory, but about the character shown along the way.